And we're recording.
Oh, are we ready to go?
We are ready to go.
All right. Well, hello.
Hello, how are you? Good afternoon, good evening.
Yeah, good morning if you're listening to us in the morning. Remember, the listeners can be listening at any time.
They can.
Good whatever day part you're in right now.
Ooh, I hate you for stealing it from my brain.
Well, speak up.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to speak over you, but whatever.
Oh,
it's
geez.
cool.
All right. Well, here we are again, guys.
There we are again.
Through the crate.
Through the crate. Episode 4. Four.
You've been in Chicago
Quattro.
for too long.
Faux, that's what it does?
Faux. Oh, a faux.
Faux. My faux makes sure all your kids don't grow.
All right, Pac. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a Biggie fan.
Oh, here we go. We're not doing that today.
Okay.
We didn't do that.
All right.
Nah.
So what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in
And listening.
and listening to us. I do appreciate that.
Pretty sure that tuning in and listening is the same thing.
You know what? It's okay. Because actually, the phrase tuning in, it's interesting you say that.
Yeah?
So think about what that means. Who tunes into anything anymore?
No one.
What does that even mean?
I would assume like tuning the TV stations or radio stations from way back in the day.
Exactly. But who tunes?
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
No one, but you know what? Do the tunes tune in?
Yes.
Cartoons?
The Cartoon Network. So we're going to be talking about hip-hop today, guys.
Yeah, don't worry. This cartoon talk is not going to continue. This tuning talk is not going to continue. We are going to go ahead and start right now with the hip-hop. Hip-hop.
Hip-hop. So
Hip-hop Anonymous.
It's been a fun week for hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
I guess every week is a fun week for hip-hop if you're into hip-hop.
Yeah.
There's always something you can find. It's interesting. Compelling.
Definitely. Let's see here. One interesting thing that happened
What's that?
is that I found out that you better respect my name.
But put some respect on it.
I don't know. Are you finished? Are we finished?
Are you finished or are you done?
Are we done? So,
Oh my God.
if you don't know what we are talking about, get out from under that rock.
Open up.
And let me just let you know. Birdman went on to the Breakfast Club this week. What was it? I don't even remember what day it was, but it was this week.
Yes.
And it was literally a 2-minute interview.
It was like Charlamagne kept joking about it. It was like a minute and 40-something seconds. It was extremely short.
Very short. It was literally a hit it and quit it interview.
It was like this is my first time doing an interview on the radio, and I just got so excited.
Exactly. It was literally oh my God, I'm here, and I'm done.
That was fun.
Yeah. It was
Hope you enjoyed it.
Oh my God. And I'm done. Yeah.
But, what was his intention?
Don't worry, that's not... Yeah, exactly.
What was the point?
Okay, so anyway, he gets to the interview. As soon as they even... they don't even, doesn't even say hi or anything like that. Comes straight into the interview and says, all right, first of all, I want to get this straight. I want to get this off my chest. Okay, again, I'm paraphrasing, but I want y'all to put some respect on my name. All three of y'all. That's exactly how I said. All three of y'all. I need y'all to put some respect on my name. And da-da-da-da. And so everyone's like, okay, well, all right, let's go. And DJ Envy, he's like...
Boom, right into the interview.
He's like, all right, let's go. Like, all right, that's fine, let's go. And he's trying to make sure, he's even said, he's like, I was trying to make sure that the cameras were rolling. I wanted to make sure this was being captured. This is crazy. As soon as he comes in, he's boom, flying off the handle. We got to get this on tape.
And it wasn't just him. It was him and about, 8, 10 dudes.
Yep. All sipping on something.
Sipping on something. Some haterade.
Exactly.
Maybe.
I don't know what it was.
But yeah, so what happens? DJ Envy finally gets the thing rolling, kind of gets it started, and oh man. So Charlamagne, I don't agree with this man most of the time. I mean, sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't. Whatever.
Right. It's a love-hate relationship with that guy.
He is hilarious. He wasted no time.
None.
The first words out of his mouth are, what, man, you just gonna curse us out? What's up? Like, didn't even try to act like nothing happened. He just went right into it. I'm
Right
like,
into it.
you are a beast.
Yeah, but if you watch The Breakfast Club, that's exactly what he's there for. That's exactly what he does, and he prides himself on that, being that personality that's going to call you out on your shit and talk to you about it to your face.
Right.
I also know that this one, I feel like he's also been scared of not scared, but like a little more drawn back to some of the guests that they've had on the show prior to this guy, or just in comparison. What I'm trying to say is, like, in comparison to like Onyx, Fredro Starr, he was like a lot more pulled back because Fredro Starr looked like he was about to pop off right there. That's why they had that PO meter, the pissed off meter, and they had Fredro's face there because he was ready. And I know Charlemagne was just like, I want to keep going, but I'm not sure if I should. Like, if I, like, this nigga really be in the streets.
Right.
And I'm out that life. I can't, So when Birdman comes up there, I didn't sense any of that from him. I feel like Charlemagne was just like, this nigga's a joke.
Yes. It was, I mean, at this point, Charlemagne was right. Like, what are you doing rolling up to the radio with all your boys trying to act hard and trying to pull up on somebody?
Right. So, yeah, like, if you haven't watched it again, we'll just continue with the story. Birdman says, I need y'all, like, as soon as they started, DJ Envy goes in with his intro. It's DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, Angeli, and we are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest for you today. This is the same way he says it every fucking, like, it's not a special guest, dude. Sorry, this is a tangent, but every time he says it, he's always like, it's a special guest. No one's a special guest because you say it every fucking time.
But every guest is special.
Oh, well then, no, because then nobody's special.
Guests are special. Were you a guest on the Breakfast Club?
No.
Then guess what, nigga? You ain't special.
Oh, okay, so we got a Breakfast Club stan over here.
No. No, I'm just saying you ain't special.
Well, anyway, I'm tired. See, you always trying to defame me or whatever on this goddamn podcast. It's all cool though, because I am a lover of life and love and peace. Anyway, back to the real shit.
I'm sorry. I will put more respect on your name.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You better put some more respect on my name. Oh, one of y'all. So anyway,
yeah.
He goes. So they go into it, and so. Doesn't even really let anybody ask him a question or anything. Angelique's over there with her papers, like, ready to go. And Charlemagne's like, all right, let's go. He cursed us out this morning. And then Birdman's like, well, I just need y'all to put some respect on my name. Keeps doing the same thing. I'm not going to say it again. He's like, I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it again. I need you guys to put some respect on my name. And then Charlemagne's like, all right, well, let's hash it out. And he goes, what's happening? Charlemagne again. Let's hash this out. What's
the problem? And what does Birdman say? Ain't no problems. There was a problem. You feel me?
Exactly. You feel it. Like, I couldn't. And then he takes off his glasses for dramatic effect.
Right. I want to be a man and see you in your face and tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
So funny. So he does that, and then he's like, all right, well, let's hash it out. Let's say it. So what happened? What's happening? Are we here? Are we done? Blah, blah, blah. So basically nothing gets done. But Charlemagne
brought up a great point. He's like, did you roll up on Trick Daddy?
Or Rick Ross?
Who were both not putting respect on your name. And these are two dudes who supposedly are in the streets. Mm-hmm. Charlemagne ain't no street dude. He's going to roll up on the freaking Breakfast Club for trying to act hard.
Right. So it was just like, okay, so he's rolling up on him with 7 dudes, sipping syrup, got his, like, I want to say, like, breakfast at Tiffany's glasses on. Like, those things were so huge and looked so fucking feminine. But anyway, so then he says all that shit. And then he's like, I could have pulled up. Are you finished? Are you done? And just leaves.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, like, recap it. But
what I didn't understand, there were a couple things in there. Yeah. Charlemagne was like, okay, why'd you curse us out? What's the problem? Mm-hmm. Birdman never laid out any...
Ain't no problem.
...issues. He said there's no problem. There's a problem, you feel it. What does that mean? If there was a problem, he put his hands on you, or he try to young thug you or something? Like, right. You feel it? What you mean you feel it, dog? Like, I don't know what y'all over there on at Cash Money, but feel what? Exactly. And And he's like, yo, we just trying to figure out what's going on. He had no words. He kept going on about this respecting my name, and you got to put some respect on it. Yeah. Look, dude, here's my opinion when it comes to celebrities and really famous and rich people complaining about non-famous and rich people's opinions of them.
Right.
You're fucking rich and famous. Who gives a fuck how you feel?
Well, let me go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, dude. No. If you are a celebrity, you can't be mad at TMZ for snapping pictures of you and talking shit about you because of some things that you do.
It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. You have to understand that. However, if that was me, I would be chilling in my freaking private plane with the jacuzzi in it with two chicks, one of them rolling a blunt, the other one pouring me a glass of the most expensive champagne possible, all right? And I would just be chilling. I wouldn't even hear it. Or I'd hear it and I'd laugh. And I'm like, you know what? Those are some jealous bitches. That's it. That's it.
Well, yes, that I get you. But in this situation, he's rolling up like Charlamagne. He may not be as famous as Birdman, but he's pretty famous. He's got his Uncommon Sense show. He's got his Brilliant Idiots podcast. Like he's got some fame to him.
Okay.
And then also like he's on the Breakfast Club, which is #1 syndicated hip hop.
It's a media outlet.
I understand that it's a media outlet, but he still is getting. Like, he was even on Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that. Like, he's got his own type of fame.
For sure.
And then, not even, let alone that, like, even if we want to put him aside, the two people that came on that show to talk about Birdman was Trick Daddy and Rick Ross. So, those people have the same amount of fame as him, or in the same lane.
Yes.
So, like, him coming in up there and having that, what is it, that disdain or that frustration with the Breakfast Club, understandable in a sense, but you shouldn't be coming at the Breakfast Club because they were just reporting on it, not.
And that's my issue.
Yeah,
that's my issue. They're news.
He should have an issue, and that's why I like what Charlamagne said. It's like have an issue with Rick Ross, have an issue with them.
Those aren't news
Charlamagne
personalities.
also. But yeah, exactly. Charlamagne also says his own thing, like giving him Donkey of the Day for kissing Wayne and all that other stuff. But
a grown man kissing another grown man. It's something you don't see every day in hip hop. Yeah.
He's
gonna report on it. Yes, it's gonna happen. All right. And if you just look at the whole situation that went around with the Cash Money, Young Money thing between Lil Wayne and Birdman, and then him all of a sudden going to Young Thug and doing the what was it, fucking Rich Gang shit, like that whole soap opera. All right, it's entertaining. Breakfast Club is #1 because they're entertaining. Because it's entertainment. It's not okay. Let's go out there and report the most important things that are going to help uplift our community. Like no,
yeah,
dude,
they're not that.
They're not
definitely not that.
So why are you going to go up there and try to punk the hip hop TMZ guys? Like
that's why
ridiculous, dude.
Like why are you going to try and come at the radio guy?
Ridiculous.
Quote. Yeah, that definitely. And then I also was thinking about like, okay, why is Birdman up there in the first place? Like, what do you have to promote? Like, you don't have an album. I know you just announced that Rich Gang is going to have a new album, but there's the one thing that's hanging in that balance that that everybody wants to know about. Nobody wants to know about this Rich Gang. Nobody wants to know about anything else you have going on. Apparently, he has some like mogul TV show that's going on.
Yeah, he has a biopic.
Yeah, a biopic or whatever. And like he's got these things, but he never really addresses as to why he comes up there, because he actually went on to Angie Martinez as well, and actually
gave a freaking boring ass interview.
Hella boring.
What the fuck was that?
And I love Angie Martinez. Like, she's probably up there with Sway. There's like Sway and Angie like up there as like two of the most prolific hip hop journalists ever.
But her two last Birdman interviews were so weak.
Well, I mean, you also have to. She has to make sure that she is respected as somebody to which a Birdman will interview with her. So if she's not getting anything, she can't press on something like the way that like a Charlamagne will press buttons or something like that, So she's got she's even like, she still has Tupac interviews that she's never released because of like, just because it's Tupac, and those were like sacred to her, and she doesn't want it to ruin the culture or anything like that. Not saying that there's something in those interviews, but that she's really like trying to make sure that she preserves this culture and that she preserves her stature as a respected, trusted journalist. Like, sure. If you go up to Charlamagne, you're not trusted. Like, you have to know that if your dirty laundry's out there, it's going to be aired. You go to Angie, you can trust that she's going to respect your privacy if you want to be private about something.
Fair enough.
So,
I mean, it doesn't take away from the fact that she had 2 very boring Birdman interviews. Okay?
Okay. All right.
I totally get that. But when it comes to Birdman, after that first one and he gave you nothing, he gave you crumbs, who cares if you keep that, trust with him if you don't get anything out of him?
But there's another thing, though. I would say, like, probably the only reason why she took this second one is because of that whole respect thing. So maybe she can get something, and she doesn't know what's going to happen. You get people live on the air, you don't know what's going to happen. So it's probably why she did it. She was just going to try and see if there was something else that she can get out of him. Unfortunately, it was fucking boring as shit. I mean, we learned there was only a couple of things that you learn about him, like his upbringing, like how he was like, okay, and now my cousin's falling asleep on the mic.
What? You say
like
something?
Some of those things are interesting to me, but yeah, overall it was a boring interview. I will agree. So he's got that thing hanging in the balance. Nobody wants to know about these other things. That one thing that's hanging in the balance is what's going on with him and Wayne. And they won't talk about it. Wayne won't talk about it. He won't talk about it. We'll see that they're hanging out on New Year's, but we don't know what's going on. We still don't have a Carter 5. Nope. We still don't have anything else that's coming out from, like, the only thing that we have from Lil Wayne is the Collygrove album with 2 Chainz.
It's pretty good.
So, I mean, and that was, I actually really liked it. And
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
I thought it was really good. So, like, having that album coming out, which is good, but we still want to know, like, what's going on with that situation, and that's, like, been the one thing that's hanging in the balance of Birdman. I don't think Birdman's going to be able to get away from that until it's addressed.
He just won't do any more interviews with anybody else except for Angie because
she'll give a boring interview.
Who won't ask him the question.
All right. But yeah, that's just the one thing I wanted to bring up, though. I thought that the interview was ridiculous. First of all, respect my name, all that bullshit. But he can't even talk. Did you see him take out his grill?
Yeah,
when he took out his grill to talk to Charlamagne. It was ridiculous.
Because he didn't want to sound foolish with a piece of metal in his mouth.
I'm sorry if everybody heard me swallow. I think I heard it. Anyway.
Gross.
Hey, hear me swallow.
And she said it again.
Yes, I did.
So how you feel about Panda being the #1 song in the country?
Panda? Mixed feelings, man.
Mixed. What's in the mix? I'm curious.
So, one, I'm happy to see that somebody is benefiting, I guess you could say. Like, I'm happy that he is doing something with his life and he's making money. Like, I'm not gonna knock the hustle.
As an individual, you're happy for Desiigner.
Right, Desiigner. And like, he has that energy. Like, to be honest, like, as a performer, it might. All right, as a performer, he's cool. Like, I've seen him a couple times, like, via YouTube videos. I don't go to their shows. So, but like, he's got that energy that makes you just want to get up and start dancing and like, yeah, I'm feeling this, First of all, that. Second of all, like, just kids that are bored and stuff like that. Sorry, that's shit falling in the background. So, Desiigner, yeah. Like, seriously, like, I just really think it's good that a kid coming out of the Bronx, or I think it's somewhere in New York, coming out of New York, making this song, having that energy, having that, like, momentum. Like, he had to do some work to get to where he is, especially to have Kanye notice him and put that song on his album, especially have Pusha T notice him, Pusha T being the president of good music now. So I respect that. On the other hand, there's the carbon copy print of Future. Like, insert Future here. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like why you are Future. Like, that is who you are. Like, you are literally stealing this dude's whole fucking swag.
So, I've heard this a lot.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a Future fan. Mm-hmm. And I listen to a lot of Future, old and new. And so my question to you, that I question a lot of people, what about him is Future? You
His
said
voice.
His voice. Okay. What else?
His voice, the flow. Like
Okay.
a cause in Atlanta. So that I feel like is very Future.
Okay. To me, that's just Southern.
That's just Southern.
There's a lot of people in the South that have that flow.
Well, a lot of people that are buying off Future though. To me, I feel like Future popular maybe made that flow or that whole thing popular. So
I'm just curious because everyone is like, "Oh my God, he's the little Future," and on first listen, it you think it's Future just because of the tone of his voice, but he doesn't actually use the auto tune to get his voice like that.
No,
like
he
Future
doesn't.
does.
no.
So Future uses auto tune to make his voice sound a certain kind of way. If you know older Future stuff before he was on the auto tune, he didn't sound like that.
Okay.
His flow wasn't even like that. But Future's evolved, and the Future that we know of now is a Future that has caught his stride and
Ran with it.
he ran with it. He found a style, he found a flow that the fans love and eat up
Okay.
constantly, and he's stuck in it. A lot of people call like even the Migos flow, is just really popular in the South. A lot of people in the South have that kind of. We spoke on it on the last podcast about Southern rappers having that pocket and sticking
That
in
cadence, yeah.
it. And so that's something that's been popular is that. I mean, Young Thug has this thing.
Yeah.
So that's just a Southern thing. So when you take out the voice, all you're really left with the flow, which is the flow that a lot of people have. And if you listen to how he actually raps, I've seen some like ciphers that he's done, and or a cipher in some. I've seen a cipher that he's done.
Okay.
And then actually listening to Panda, taking out the chorus part because it's a really loose song.
Yeah, it is.
If you take out the chorus and actually listen to the verse,
It's like one verse though, right?
it's like one verse and the chorus like repeats like 10
right,
times.
Right.
But in that verse, his flow is actually varied, and his rhyming style is it's Southern influence, but it's not a complete copycat of the cadence. His voice, yes, he sounds like Future, but that's just his voice. Like that's just how the man sounds. So to say he's like a carbon copy print of Future, okay, the ad libs are kind of Future.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but that's another thing.
That's Future.
He's very annoying with that. Like
That's Future.
Ad libs overused.
So yes, he's definitely heavily influenced by the South in the way he does his flow, in the way he does his ad libs. The voice is completely coincidental, but to his credit, it's helped him cement a #1 record.
Right. So that's just so then my question is like, what happened to being? Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there because I was gonna say what happened to being original, but like. Oh, actually, I have a question for you. I wanted to ask while you were doing that whole spiel. So then with Future, like, because we know that Migos, it used to be the Migos flow, and Migos stole it from Future, and then now it's come back to being Future's flow. Do we know if that is Future's flow, or is there somebody else that came before Future that came up with that flow? I don't know.
I honestly want to give Future credit for that.
Yeah, I think I would too. Because I know it was never Migos' flow. Migos just came up and did something with it.
I mean, the Migos will claim that flow. In interviews, Future has not disputed it. He's never claimed to be the one that's come up with this flow or this sound. He's always just been about, this is what I do, this is how I rock. But if you listen to his old record, his first record wasn't that good. That Pluto 3D or whatever.
I didn't listen, yeah.
It was alright. Honest, in my opinion, was actually a very slept on Future record. Which he showcased a lot of different flows. So to me, one of the things that made Future interesting was that different songs I heard him on, he always came with a different flow. So he was a Southern guy who sounded Southern with good ad libs and a great voice, who always would find some unique way to kind of ride a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, we talked about it before, was something I've loved about Southern rappers is just their ability to hop on a beat and find a cadence, find something that works that you might not have thought of before. So I feel like that Future flow, or the Migos flow, was a Future flow that he used in like maybe one or two songs before, but it wasn't something that was so prevalent in his style that you could attribute it to him.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and listen, he was totally doing that stuff before.
That's interesting.
I mean, one song that comes to mind, Young Nigga Move That Dough.
Young nigga move that dope.
Think of Future's verse.
Move that, yeah.
Whipping the bricks, making the bricks, slipping the mix, some slipping the mix, and
Yeah.
like that was before Migos.
Yeah.
Like people, like, and just even the way his flow was so different on that, and
Mm-hmm.
people weren't doing that kind of different shit before Future really just made it popular to just kind of be a little different.
Right. I agree with that.
So that's my spiel on that. I don't think it's a Migos flow. I think it's a Southern flow that Future had used. Whether he was the inventor or the creator of it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
It was popularized by him then.
yeah, I mean,
I think that's the first I've heard of it.
Migos definitely took it mainstream. I mean, that Versace song definitely put that flow on the map. And then when Drake did it, it was like done. The whole
God
game.
damn that Drake stamp.
The whole game is on it.
Drake will stamp something and it becomes
Standard.
the norm.
Standard. Yeah. So, I mean,
Whatever, Drake.
Yeah.
Better that Views from the Six better be good.
better be great.
Better be monumental or you're out of here, bro.
Deuces.
I know we talked about that last episode, but
It's
I was just
true.
thinking about it because one, we just mentioned him, and two, like that's another album that's supposed to come out like by the end of this week, right? What's today? The 26th?
No, it's coming out on the 6th of April, right?
The 29th. It's supposed to-
29th?
Yeah, 29th.
Oh, then it's coming out 2 days.
Yeah.
So maybe by the time we drop this, it'll be out, and you guys can all tell us if he hit a home run or
I'm
not.
trying to drop this tonight.
Okay. Or
Boom.
tonight. Done.
But yeah. My bad.
Anywho, so speaking of dropping stuff, that ASAP Ferg finally dropped.
Oh my God, yeah. So I know you were pretty excited about that.
I was very excited for it. I was waiting and anticipating it. New Level was the first single that came out, and it was one of my favorite turn up, let's get in the zone kind of songs. And then he dropped the other song, Let It Bang, featuring Schoolboy Q. Another one. I was just like, hell yeah.
Both bangers.
Both bangers. Then the album dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what it sounded like when it dropped. I don't hate it. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I listened to it. I gave it one active listen.
Oh.
I wish I could have sat with it more, but I
Okay.
couldn't. But just off that one active listen, I thought it was a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It sounds, so one thing, it sounds very commercial. Like he's trying to do something.
Yes.
He's trying to reach a different market.
New level.
Yeah, exactly. A new level. Like and like that's not entirely bad.
No.
That's fine. But it also felt like it was all over the place. Like I couldn't get a good groove going into that album. Like you start off with, I can't remember it's like it was just like you start off with.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that one was good. I'm trying to look up the track list right now, but it's just like you have like a good song and then you go into that EDM thing and it throws off the whole flow.
So, as a collection of songs, it's not bad.
No.
You know, there's a lot of the songs in there I like. There's a couple songs in there that are just kind of annoying. But I don't really hate any song individually on it.
Right.
But as a cohesive album, it is anything but cohesive.
Right. It's not cohesive. It's very commercial. Rebirth, that's the song. So Rebirth was fine. And then going from Rebirth to Hunger Ham, I just felt like that was a very bad transition.
Every transition on this album is bad.
Horrible. But
the smoothest transition, like the individual songs, cool.
Yeah.
But there's no flow, you know. Like we were talking about this before. You know, when you listen to an album, you're listening to it for the experience of an album.
Right.
It's not just a collection of songs.
Right.
It's a project. You know, that's what you put the work in. That's why you take the time and sit down and plan and try to get songs that fit together to a cohesive project. So looking at the album art that came out, you know, the first couple singles, the name, Always Strive and Prosper. I don't know. I was just expecting
so much more, right?
Just a more cohesive project. I feel like Trap Lord was more cohesive than this.
It definitely was.
And it's, again, I like A$AP Ferg. I like a lot of the songs on here. But as a complete album, there's no flow to it.
Yeah. As a consumer, I would just pick and choose songs to listen to. I wouldn't listen to this album all the way through. And I think as an artist, you want somebody to be able to listen to your album all the way through. And I don't think that they were able to do that with this one. And that's, like, even going back to Drake, I think that sometimes Drake does that too. I mean, Drake's albums have been a lot more cohesive. Like, his transitions have been a lot better than this one. But, like, I think just as an artist, like, you need to make sure that listener does not get thrown off, because that turns them off. Like, just like with podcasts. Like, if I fucking dropped a mic right now, you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck just happened? You know? It's just all about the presentation of it. And then one thing too is, like, that I think about too is, with this album is, like, he dropped the two best songs on this album beforehand. It's like watching a movie trailer for a comedy that has all the jokes in it, and you watch the movie and the best jokes were in the trailer. That's what it was. That's exactly what this album was. So it's kind of disappointing, because maybe he got our hopes up with those two best tracks, and one of those tracks to be, like, you know, on a pedestal. I'm not sure what he was thinking with that, or maybe I don't know if it was his fault or his management or his team. What happened there? Somebody dropped the ball, I think.
And that's a good point. You know, was this A$AP Ferg's best work put on? Well, actually, you can't even say on wax.
I know,
anymore.
nothing's
It's
on
like
wax.
it's on
Put
the internet.
The binary code,
right?
1011000.
Or is it the label saying you need commercial success? You need to blow up.
Right.
So we're gonna give you a song with Missy Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
This pop song that sounds like. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I remember listening to that song and being like, "Oh my god, this song sucks." And then Missy came out, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is okay. This sounds like a Missy song, but a Ferg song? No."
But Missy, like, and that's the thing. Missy steals a show on his own album, but I think that's something that Ferg does, though. Like, so let's think about it. Trap Lord, he had Bone Thugs and Harmony, Onyx, Be Real. From, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had these big names. Like, I feel like he's setting himself by having these ones up on these legendary MCs on his album. He's setting himself up to be a shadow. You know what I'm saying? So by putting Missy on this song, he's setting himself to be a shadow of that song.
But the complete difference is the songs on Trap Lord totally fit Ferg. Like, that's a Ferg song featuring Bone Thugs. Or that was a Missy song featuring Ferg.
Yeah, it was.
And it was like...
Strive is the song we're talking about, if you guys don't know.
And it was disappointing for me. Just as a whole, I was expecting... I was expecting the kind of bipolar nature of Ferg, where he'll be in some ratchetness, and then he'll also give you something else, which I did like the contrast in the album, where he had those turn up ratchet songs, and then he also had those kind of introspective, uplifting the people kind of songs. Great. Give us some context.
Yeah.
Let it flow. You know,
Right.
don't just give me, send me out here and then send me all the way to the Antipodes.
And
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
no, I need to. Let's enjoy the journey.
Right. I was gonna give him some compliments though, because right now we're being there's a lot of negative. One compliment I will give him is that he has upped his storytelling game.
Oh yeah.
I will give him that. Like, I think a lot of people sleep on ASAP Ferg being an actual lyricist. I think he has the storytelling ability. I think he has the charm, not the charm, but like it grabs your
Charisma?
attention. The charisma
Yeah.
within his storytelling, within his lyrics. It makes you think about things. Like when he was talking about on New Level, used to be sleeping on itchy beds and stuff like that. Like, it makes me think back to my struggle. Like the music is for people like us. And that's one compliment I'll give him. Like, I'm not going to count him out just because of this album.
No.
There's no way you can count him out. Like, definitely wouldn't do it. And then another thing is that he has these, like, the respect of these people. Like, even though I feel like these people are putting him in a shadow, but he has these Missy Elliott's, he has these Bone Thugs, he has these B Rails, these Onyx, all these people that respect him enough to get on the same song. And that is very, very rare within hip hop nowadays. With our young MCs that coming up, they're not respecting their elders and not showing love. And by him, Ferg, doing that, like, that's something that I think is really commendable and really should be noted.
For sure.
Definitely.
I mean, he definitely is not afraid to look back and just say, you know what, guys, thank you. Let's do a song together. He also had a song with your boy,
My boy.
Lil Uzi Vert.
He also has a song with
Uzi Gay, ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was on there. Huh?
Who they want?
He also has a new song out. I haven't had a chance to listen to. I want to listen to it too. I meant to send this to you, but Kirk Knight produced the track,
Oh, snap.
and ASAP Ferg. I forget what it's called. Rosenberg posted it on his Instagram or something like that.
Nice.
But it's pretty effing dope. It looks pretty dope. I don't know why I said it's pretty effing dope, but I haven't even heard it. I'm gonna cut that out. But it's pretty effing interesting to see them too.
Cool. I mean, I just, I would love a do-over for this. Always strive and prosper.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't what I would say most Trap Lord fans were looking for, but I think he's trying to reach out to a different audience. So I think that's what this was.
Okay. Well,
But-
just wait for the next one.
Yeah, but I will tell you an album that I really liked,
What's that?
2088.
Oh.
I actually listened to that thing all the way through, like 2 or 3 times, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I don't know if it has to do. So there's a couple of questions I asked myself when listening to this album.
All right. What are these 2 questions?
One was just like, am I liking this because it sounds like Drake and Jhene? And then the second question, or not second, but the second part of that question, or is it because Drake stole Big Sean's like type of flow, and that's why I'm liking it, because it sounds like that one song from Nothing Was the Same or whatever from Drake's, the Jhene Aiko. I used to bump that song all the time, and I don't know the name of it right now, but so that was the question. That was the one question I asked, and then 2, like, where's R&B? Like, this isn't hip hop. This is R&B, So that was one other thing. That was the second one I asked myself. I was like, where is R&B at now? Where Big Sean is moving in on Chris Brown's territory, because Chris Brown is over here trying to rap.
He is definitely trying to rap now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my whole thing about that.
There were some very Drake elements on 2088.
2088 is Big Sean and Jhene Aiko. They just dropped this album
Like 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. We'll say at the most a month ago.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Recommend you guys check it out, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's one of those albums that you can put on and in mixed company and not have to worry about someone necessarily being offended. As long as they're all adults. There are some pretty sexual parts in there, but I feel like sex always goes over better than violence and nigga. I always feel like ass and titties goes over better than niggas and Glocks and rocks.
Ass and titties. Ass and titties.
But you know what? I'm
getting new beers. Sorry, guys.
I totally understand the Drake comparisons. But let's be real. Drake isn't even Drake anymore. Drake is everybody else. Why do we keep going back to Drake? Because Drake is the biggest thing in rap right now. So let's just be real. So, yeah, Drake isn't even on that style of Drake anymore. It's like, well, shit, if Drake ain't going to be Drake, I guess Big Sean will do it. And, he honestly did it pretty well. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed Big Sean, and not just for his style that was very Drake-like, but his lyrics were actually on point. Like, he was very to the point. On songs where he's talking about them breaking up or them having issues, he's got some really good points, and he's got some really good lines. They all up in our business, like you and I, like.
Ain't none of your friends' business.
I mean, his punchlines are pretty fucking punchy,
dude.
And I'm like,
that's one thing a lot of people sleep on when it comes to Big Sean. He has got those punchlines.
He's got some punchy punchlines. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, where was this Big Sean on his last record?
Oh, dude, see? And I had this debate with my friend Dave. He was like, because I told him, I was like, that 2088, that's a good album. It's a good album. He was like, yeah, now you have to go back and listen to My Dark Twist, like Paradise or whatever that is.
I ain't got to go back and listen to that. I listened to it when it came out.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think so. I tried to go back, and I was like, I remember why I didn't want to listen to this. Yeah. It wasn't the same feeling. It wasn't the same I felt like Big Sean was a little bit more hungry in this one. A little more open.
Because everybody criticized. It was crazy to me. The people who criticized his last record were not even big hip hop people.
No.
It was like outside people, and I feel like that was Big Sean's opportunity to kind of expand in his fan base, and he didn't do that. His core fans loved it. Mm-hmm. Those core people that supported him from day one, they loved it.
Right.
And it was actually a moderately successful project. Mm-hmm. I didn't like it. Where the ASAP Ferg record, I can say that it wasn't a cohesive piece of work, but as a collection of songs, it was decent. For that last Big Sean, Dark something
Dark
twisted,
Sky Paradise,
wanna be Kanye West name album shit.
We are so throwing some shade right now.
But you know what? I'm not throwing shade at Big Sean. I'm throwing shade at that project. I wasn't a fan of it. And I'm a fan. I'm a listener. I can have an opinion.
I guess you can. Dark Sky Paradise is what it's called.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. There were songs on there I liked, but it wasn't very good. But man, the 2088, I'm like, man, where were those punchlines and where was that cohesive songwriting? And there's a steady flow, and they actually have some really good chemistry. Big Sean and
really
Aiko.
do.
Were they actually involved? That was good.
Musically, I think they are a match made in heaven.
It's his voice, just and the tonality of his voice and the softness of hers and the masculine softness of his. It's deep, but it's still not harsh. It works really well. He's not a great singer, but he definitely showcased the best qualities of his voice on that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I wasn't expecting much going into it.
Right.
And they
wasn't either.
Surprised me.
It actually took me a minute to actually listen to it. It came out, I was like, whatever. It's gonna be some whatever shit. And I think part of that was because of his last album. Yeah. I was just like, I don't know if I want to listen to this. And that sucks as the consumer, from the art, and also for the artist is that like if you put something out like it flops, like you could be losing a couple listens there for your next project, which sucks. So like me, but I was like, you know what, Tressie, you're trying to get into this whole podcast realm. Let's try and like that's the same reason why I listen to fucking Young Thug, same reason why I listen to Future, same reason why I went back and listened to ASAP Ferg. Like, you know, you got to make sure that you're educated. This is one thing I actually want to stress to our listeners. If you are a hip hop fan, make sure you go back and do your fucking homework.
Preach.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not know everything, but I'm going to go back and do my homework if I don't.
Church.
Anyway, so I just didn't want to like go back to that whole like realm of dark sky paradise, especially when it was almost like twisted fantasy shit. Like, you know, especially when you're biting off of Kanye. But when Kanye's your idol and your label mate or whatever,
it's just the name.
Yeah,
nothing sonically about
I know.
that.
I'm messing. I'm messing around.
Kanye West
throwing shade room, Tressie. Anyway, but yeah, so like I just didn't want to listen to it, and I'm very happy that I did. Like they literally were perfect together, sonically, creatively. I think like it sounded like they flowed like together. Like I hope they were in the studio together for this whole thing.
They had to be. There's
I
no way you could get that kind of chemistry remotely.
Right? Like if they did, like Jesus, I wonder what would happen if they are in the studio together.
Did you see the video?
No, I haven't.
It's like a 15-minute video where they splice a bunch of the songs together, like segments of the songs, and kind of tell a story with it. It's incredible.
Oh man, I gotta listen.
It's incredible.
Look at that.
They do the ones, I forget the name of the song, but the where it's like they're on a talk show.
Yeah, talk show. It's called talk show.
Oh, it's called talk show. Look at me. I know.
There
I
you
did
go.
my homework. Yeah, talk show. They actually do that song, and it's like right in the middle of the whole thing. And watch the video. It's actually it's pretty intense. You know, guys, we'll toss a link, a YouTube link in the description for you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely put
check
some links for a lot of the things that we're talking about today.
No, actually just that. Everything else you got to find yourself.
All right, well, I guess since he's the boss, fuck right, you know, fuck. No, he's not the boss. Don't worry, I'm the one that fucking does all the shit anyway. Yes. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, but we about to edit together. Anyway, they don't need to know the inner workings. That they don't need to know what happens behind the curtain.
Behind closed doors.
No,
I didn't. Open mics.
No, behind the curtain. Closed doors assumes that there's something going on in the bedroom. That's where my mind went.
I was thinking the bathroom. I gotta take a shit.
Oh, smells like poop. Anyway, might want to cut that out.
Poop.
Nah. But yeah, whatever.
No,
2088, awesome.
2088, I enjoyed it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that came out? Like, I don't think there was anything else that came out that actually grabbed my attention.
Since we last posted,
yeah.
I can't. I'm sure there's some underground shit that someone's gonna be like, you didn't hear this. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, I didn't hear it.
Right.
Send it to me. I might listen to it. Otherwise, I don't know what to say.
I mean, yeah.
You know? Yeah, if there's anything you guys want us to listen to or give our opinion on, definitely, you know, drop a comment and we'll listen to it and you'll hear it.
We have our Tumblr page. We also have the SoundCloud, and we will be checking that very often.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say about 2088 was 2 Minute Warning. It was the one that was featuring Casey and JoJo. It's the 2 Minute Warning.
Yes.
That's that song. Woo! And I didn't want it to be 2 minutes. I know it's a little over 2 minutes, but I kept playing that song over and over. And London Bridge was pretty good too. But anyway, we'll drop a link or put some stuff in the description letting you guys know what to listen to, because this stuff is really good stuff.
Listen to 2088. You know, this is it reminds me of some old like 90s for the 2000s like baby making music. Like an album you can put on when it's that time. You know what I'm saying?
Circling right.
And everybody's happy.
Exactly.
There's some rapping, there's some singing. Everybody happy.
Exactly. That's circling around to my point where I was just like, where's our R&B? It's right here, you know? Like, this is good stuff. So you can listen to that on any one of the streaming services you have. Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music,
Google Play,
Rhapsody. Oh, you want to go back? You want to take it back? So what's weird? So this Beyonce Lemonade thing came out, right?
Did it? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. We got the Beyonce Lemonade coming out. That's the most recent thing that came out. You can only see it on Tidal or HBO. And on
it's on HBO.
It was on HBO. It was because it was a musical film or some shit like that.
Oh my god.
Of course, I was like not doing shit. Like I was actually out doing stuff on a Saturday night, and I wasn't able to watch it. So you can't find it anywhere else. So that's exclusive to Tidal, and it's not even on HBO anymore. I checked my HBO Go, can't get it. You also have The Life of Pablo, exclusively for Tidal only.
For a month and a half.
For a month and a half, and then they put it on everything else, and then they took it away from Google Play. So I'm just saying exclusively to those things.
Yes.
We have Views from the Six. That's going to be exclusively to Apple Music.
Yes.
So the fuck do these people think we are? I don't know. Like, I don't want to have to. The reason why you subscribe to a streaming service is because you're supposed to get all of your music from this streaming service,
yes.
right? As from a consumer's perspective.
Yes.
So, well, I just wanted to ask you too. Like, what are your thoughts on like all these streaming services that we have in like Tidal versus Spotify versus Apple Music versus Google Play? Like, we have all these things. We have all these artists that are exclusive to one of these like. These streaming services, like who do you choose? Like how do you choose? Like where are we going with music to where to this whole thing that we got here? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So I remember back in Oakland.
In Oakland.
When I was on Maybell.
Oakland, Childish Gambino. Telegraph. That's the name of the song.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't on Telegraph. I was on Maybell.
I was only saying the name of the song, so. I don't know why you are saying stuff like that.
Sitting at the computer. Imagine me, a young boy, logging onto my 56K modem.
There you go.
And there was a song I really wanted to hear. So what did I do? I had options. I could turn on the radio, and I could listen to the radio. And wait for it to come on and be happy and then call the radio and request it. Mm-hmm. I could go out and buy the single on either cassette tape or on CD. Or I could open up my computer and download it for motherfucking free. There were several programs that were out initially. What was that one? Napster, they got shut down.
Yep.
And then there was Kazam that just was full of fucking viruses, especially if you're trying to download porn. So yeah, I had to reformat my computer several times. LimeWire was the worst.
I used to use LimeWire for music.
Yeah, but it was riddled with malware. Yeah. Anyway, so I was a freaking... And then torrents came out.
Yep.
And it was like my game was over. I was getting albums. I was getting movies. I was like, man, fuck the studios. Fuck the labels. Fuck everybody. And then, I started taking my music a little bit more seriously. And I started thinking like, man, I'm robbing the same people in the same industry that I'm a part of.
I'm going to cut you off. Should we just end it? Because we only have 5 more minutes until we make an hour.
But we also have edits to make.
You sure? All right.
I feel like when we edit it down, it'll be like 45, 50 minutes.
All right, cool. 50, let's say 4. That's when I stopped. Okay, go.
So I realized at that point, like, I'm stealing from the same industry that I'm trying to be a part of.
Right.
So when the streaming services finally became available, and they actually had comprehensive libraries, I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to stop being an E-Savage, or I'm going to stop fucking, like,
E-Savage. I'm
going to stop stealing from these artists, and I'm just going to pay the freaking $10 a month and listen to what I want. And there's every once in a while there's an album I like, I'll actually buy it.
Right.
But I still will have access to my music when I want it, where I want it. And I'll still be supporting the artist, and I won't be breaking the bank to hear everything. $10 a month. You know what? I got a job. I can afford $10 a month.
Yeah.
So I went for it, and I was happy until recently when all these freaking streaming services start competing with each other. And now there's exclusives for this one, exclusives for that one. And in all honesty, I feel like it's segmenting the market and it's making me want to be a fucking pirate again.
Right.
It's making me want to hop back on the fucking, back on my ship and fucking sail around the fucking World Wide Web, dude. Like,
sail around in the Pirate Bay?
Exactly. Like,
that's for you hackers out there.
Yeah, you guys know what's up. Like, I was a part of that life for a very long time. I would make CDs for people. And so the fact that I'm actually a willing participant in the legal part of it and you're still excluding me, it's like, fuck you, man.
Right. But then also, okay, so then we're paying $10. So that's the thing, is that it also reflects like how everything's evolved and changed, right? So we used to pay like $10 for an album. You know what I'm saying? And now we're paying $10 for a subscription to all the music we want at our fingertips.
Yes.
So, excuse me. So, is it fair to, from an artist perspective, to expect the consumer to subscribe to all of these different ones? Because monthly, so say, how many albums did you used to buy as a kid? You know? Or not
probably
as even a kid.
In total, probably like 5, and I just downloaded the rest for free.
But I'm saying that like in general, like minus what you were downloading, like how many like what I'm trying to quantify is like how many albums did I used to buy within a month versus paying for a subscription a month.
Much less.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the subscription is much less than what I would try and buy. But then also, again, we were pirating stuff. So that's why the streaming service is trying to bring money back to the artist, blah, blah, blah. So, like, to me, it's like, where do we try and figure out what that happy medium is? Like, are we supposed to spend, like, because I know Spotify and Google Play is like $10 a month. I think Apple Music is like,
I think it's 10 too.
10. I know
Tidal's 20 if you have the HD.
Right. So
version.
Tidal is a lot more.
Which is retarded because most people don't even have the hardware to hear the difference in the fidelity. But that's a whole different. That's a whole different game.
Right.
I would love to play some high quality audio for you and then some low quality or regular quality audio and have you tell me the difference.
Right.
Nobody can.
Exactly. Unless you have the ears of a dog or some shit.
Unless you have the fucking ears of a god.
Oh man. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to quantify. Like, what is like the amount of like where do they expect us to stop? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to listen to this Views from the Six, I'm gonna have to subscribe to Apple Music. If I want to listen to this Lemonade or watch that video, which is supposed to be fucking prolific, I have to pay for either the $17.99 album or pay for the $10.99 or the $10 subscription or $20 subscription to Tidal. And then I already have my Spotify. I already have, like, luckily I have Google Play through you. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to spend money on a bunch of this shit. I'm already streaming on my fucking TV. You know what I'm saying? I don't even pay for cable now. And don't think I'm complaining because I'm not paying for cable, so I have room to pay for some of this shit. But no, there's a reason why you don't pay for things, because you want to save fucking money. Right. Not all of us are goddamn billionaires. So that's just my thing. It's like, where does it stop? Like, where does the next mogul come in and say, hey, I have this streaming service and I got Young Thug on this motherfucker, or I got like D'Angelo on this motherfucker?
It'll never stop.
You know?
I mean, that's the short answer. So
then that's them getting music like all the time.
The problem is, you know, people are listening to more, statistically, people are listening to music more now than they ever have.
True. Because it's at our fingertips.
But revenue from music is at an all-time low. So you've got these music execs who, in my opinion, were just making too much money off of the back of the artist in the first place.
Yep.
Who are now kind of, the market is almost entering a correction. Mm-hmm. Where, oh shit, y'all were making way too much money before. Now this is maybe more realistic. So now they're freaking out because they got these leases, they got these houses, these cars, and you know what? The money's not coming in like it used to. Mm-hmm. So they're freaking out. So what are they doing? They're throwing $20 million at Drake to exclusively drop on their platform so they can gain subscribers. Money flow, cash flow. All right. That's one thing about these streaming services is that if you can get enough people on them, that is cash flow. Like you said, they're buying an album a month. So imagine these people buying an album a month. The companies can bank on that. That's money they know they have in the bank. But if you look at the breakdown on how much actually goes to the artists and the producers and the writers and the recording artists or the
engineers,
the recording engineers, it's pennies. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's a bill that's going up to Congress now that's going to hopefully give some money and so that recording engineers can actually get royalties on records that they record.
That would be amazing.
They're not written in. It's not in the copyright law. The recording engineer is on their own when it comes to getting compensation for any records that they record. And if you've ever been in the studio, any of you listeners, you know that the recording engineer is central to making a hot record.
There is no your favorite artist without the engineer. Like, just putting that out there. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but this motherfucker is the person that makes your Future, that makes your Kanye, that makes your anybody sound as good as they do.
Yes. They're the motivators. They are the ones that tell you, nah, you can do that again.
Right. And they're the ones, they are basically the ones that know the science behind your voice.
Yep.
And
good way to put it.
And the artist is the only person that knows the art. So you can come up with all these completely like amazing things with your voice or with your instrument or whatever, but the one person that's going to know how to make sure that is consumed the correct way is that engineer.
Yep.
They are the science behind your voice.
I like that. The science behind your voice.
Because they're the ones that do your frequencies. Like they know what those things are. Like, you know, where you should be sitting. They're the ones that know, like, I need to throw a compressor on this thing. I need to make sure that there's a little bit of reverb here. Like, everyone in the fucking world knows what reverb is now. Like, but, like, nobody knows how to properly place an EQ on something. EQ is an equalizer. Like, I don't know a bunch of this. I know some just because of, like, my producing background, just from me going on YouTube and looking at stuff. But we also have friends that are in the industry that do this for a living and actually went to school and have years of experience in these things, and so
master's degree in
exactly it. You know what I'm saying? So like and record like that soon to be platinum recording artists, you know, artists that have performed with Prince. Oh, that's one thing we didn't cover. R.I.P. dude. But yeah, like there's a science to making music and making it consumable. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's my spiel. Spiel.
So you said Prince.
I know.
Rest in peace.
There's not much else that we can say right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a Prince fan. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, I love Prince. It was, I respect his artistry. I knew his hits, but, you know, I can't lie posthumously and be like, oh my God, I loved Prince. Like, Prince was cool. I wish I could have seen him in concert. How many black dudes you know can play a guitar like that? Not many.
Or keys.
So it's very, it's kind of fucked up. But, you know, I don't know what happened or why it happened. You know, it's sad. I really wish I could have seen the dude in concert. I mean,
yeah, that was actually one of my bucket list things that I wanted to do is see Prince. But unfortunately, I mean, I would say I was a fan of Prince. I wouldn't say I was the biggest fan. I've always watched his like performances. I loved Purple Rain as a movie, as a song. I mean, I didn't keep up with all of his albums. I was also very young.
Seen it once.
Yeah? I've seen it like numerous times. Yeah. But like, you know, like Prince was amazing. Like that is one person that like he was your celebrity's celebrity. Like nobody could touch that motherfucker. Like he was, and then also like he defied categories or boxes. Not humanity. Because like the motherfucker would wear eyeliner and high heels and a leotard and still steal your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then straight men respected him for that shit. Like, how do you know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Like, the most straight men, like the most homophobic straight men respect the shit out of Prince. And I don't get it, you know? Like, it's just something, like his aura, his swag, his everything about him was just fucking crazy.
Are you talking about Dave Chappelle's version of Prince or the actual version of Prince?
The actual version.
Okay. Because Dave Chappelle probably opened my eyes to Prince more than
everybody else.
Yeah.
That's the Charlie Murphy story, which is actually a true story.
It's a true story about Prince. Served waffles.
Yeah, he's like, yeah. I actually listened to an interview recently that Charlie Murphy did. He was like, yeah, everything was a true story that I said about that on the Dave Chappelle show. He's like, I mean, that was back in the day when everybody was young and out there partying and shit like that, and like you would run into people, and like I was always out anywhere Eddie was at, I was at. Yeah. And he was like you would run into people, but like one thing I always respected about Prince was his artistry, and I just wish his family and his friends, I just want to send out my deepest condolences to them. I feel weird doing that sometimes. Like, I didn't know him.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Like, I knew him musically, but I didn't know him personally. So why would I send, like, these people aren't gonna hear my like, I wish you the best.
For sure, you know, but I mean, I think what it shows is that he actually had an impact on your life, even though you never knew him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something powerful, that someone can impact someone's life and it's omnidirectional, right? So it's only one way.
Right.
You know, you have no impact on Prince's life, but he had an impact on yours.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You know, I can't take anything away from it, but
feels like I've been raped. I'm just kidding.
It's a one-way transaction there.
Exactly.
How the fuck you go from Prince to rape? Dude. Oh my
so
god.
So bad. That's just my crazy whacked out fucking brain. Maybe we should just end this.
I'm thinking we should end it on rape and Prince. Not raping Prince, but rape and God damn it.
Yes. That's through the crate for your ass.
Through the crate.
Fuck.
We've gone through it, guys. So
we did. We went from some goofy shit in the beginning to some serious shit at the end to some goofy shit at the end.
So just remember, guys.
Don't rape Prince.
Don't do it. It's through the crate.
It's through the crate. All right, guys. Sorry about that.
Deuces.
Peace.